Yo, 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 yo. What's up, all you burners, stoters, and potheads, and especially all you gardeners out there? This is Mr. Weedman and Big Earl with the Grow Hour. Big Earl, my brother, how the hell are you?
What's up, man? I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing great. You want to know why?
Why?
We got the quad in the house. Four-timer, Mike Straight with Straight A Genetics in the house. How you doing, brother?
Doing good. How are you guys?
Oh, man, we're so great to have you on again and shooting the shit and talking shop and hearing what you got coming down the plans. But before we get started with all that, I need to smoke because I hadn't smoked yet today and I'm ready. So let's smoke. Earl, what are you smoking on, my friend?
I don't know the name of it. I mislabeled it, but it came from our homie Seattle Chronic, and it's fire. I call it Seattle Chronic.
That's what I've been calling it, and that fucking shit is fire. Fucking fire.
But I mislabeled it, so it had no label. I was like, well, I know this is his plant, but I don't know what the label. I did have no label.
This strain, we call it the Seattle Chronic, is a high CBG strain and higher in some minor cannabinoids, CBG, CBC, some CBD, and a good amount of THC. I tell you what, Mike, I wish I can send you some of this. I was fucking couch locked up, like on a chair, like slumped, trying to play video games, and I couldn't move my whole body from the neck down. I could function, but I couldn't feel my body from the neck down. I texted Earl, I'm like, dude, wonderful job. Tell Seattle Seed Chronic this fucking strain is amazing. So I'm smoking on, and Mrs. Weedman and I smoked this last night too during the recording last night, Earl. Dude, we are in love with the Strawberry Shortcake.
Nice, good.
So good. Such a good sativa leaning strain, great body, a little bit of the body, but boy, we were on fuego last night doing the show. Mr. Weedman was hot. There was some articles that got me hot, and I was all wound up with that fucking stress. So I brought it out again tonight for an honor of Mr. Mike Straight here. Mike, what are you smoking on, brother?
This bong hit's about to be a Death Star hit. Super potent, old school, just dank, gassy, earthy, just robust, aromatic. I love it. Cheers.
Salute, man. Thanks for coming on again. The quad, four-timer here, everybody. And we appreciate him. Also, we've had a lot going on since the last time you were on the show. I would also like to say hello to Deb, your wonderful wife, the backbone of the whole family there. Deb, how you doing?
Cheers. How are you?
And I'd like to say congratulations to the both of you. For now, it's been so long, you now have a 13-month-old in the house.
Toddler running around doing her little thing.
Asleep.
Walking.
Oh yeah, she runs. She tries to jump. She fucking does it all. She's badass. She's too advanced already almost.
She plays hide and seek.
Yeah, she plays hide and seek with us. She's a very smart, very capable already. Like she doesn't run around with a bottle. She already has like a little sippy cup thing and she already drinks
there you go.
water from
There you
all
go.
day. Like I don't know, she's awesome. She has a little tiny piano. It's not like she's playing anything that's noticeable. But
right.
She goes up to a sensitive and just starts fucking jamming out, and I'm like, dude, she's gonna be fucking.
She'll play 4 notes in a row in
yeah,
like a
ding, 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 ding.
on a what's it called?
Ding, ding. It's pretty funny.
I love it. Well, congratulations to the both of you. And Deb, when we had Mike on the show, you were pregnant and fucking hobbling with a broken ankle, right?
Yeah.
That's the memory I told you earlier. I got a good memory for a burner pothead,
Yeah.
So how'd the ankle heal up?
It healed up pretty good. Healing on while being pregnant was kind of interesting, but it wasn't too bad. And I was going to school at the same time. So walking around with a backpack and crutches while pregnant.
Well, congratulations on being able to do it all and taking care of our friend Mike here too, and being a great wife and a new mom. We appreciate you taking care of our guy here. So making sure his fucking hash is his hash bowls are filled and his fucking bowls are hot. You know what I'm saying? I love it. So we had you on, Mike, on some episodes with us. Episode 10. You asked what episode you were on. I'm going to give them to you right now. You ready? Episode 10. You were top 10, baby, in my heart right here. Top 10. Episode 19. And episode 22, which was the round table with you and Terp Fiend. I tell you what, we discussed some great shit on that show. and from selling plants to cleaning preferences and making seeds. If you had, I was talking about the Grow Hour last night. I talk about it a lot because there's a lot of people that maybe just started listening to the Chronicles and don't know what we do. I do a show called the Grow Hour with Big Earl. So I mentioned it a lot in the show. This is episode 74. If you have not listened to any of our episodes, you're missing out. And I'm not saying our show's the greatest show since sliced bread, but if you want to learn how to grow, how to breed, how to make hash, and just fucking listen to some cool ass motherfuckers, this is the show for you, period. It's that informative of a show. So, and because of folks like you taking time out of your busy days, you're growing, you're breeding projects, baby now, wife, we appreciate you, and everybody that's been on the show, we appreciate you taking this hour to chill with some homies and some gromies and to express your knowledge to the world, because we are an internationally recognized podcast, and we thank you for sharing your knowledge and time with us and teaching a newbie grower like myself and Big Earl here. The knowledge is power, and we appreciate you coming on, man. More than you know. So we thank you. And so episode 22 is on May 15th. It's been a while. Tell us a little bit besides the baby. How's everything been going?
Going good, just trucking along. Everybody knows that the economy hasn't been the best for most everybody, so it's not like it's been smooth sailing. But we are progressing. We're in a house now, and working for fucking the homie with the rec license. Hold on, real quick. I'm going to take this hit.
I salute. Deb got it fired up for you, so we got to make sure it rolls.
The dab timer went off.
I can't wait till we get to our hash section to talk a little bit about what you've been going on. So, two things. What are you hashing on right now, and what's your temperature? Do you like a hot dab, or do you like a cool dab?
I go in a little hot. I like it a little spicier.
I could tell because you choked on it last time before we started the show too. Yeah, that was last time. That was before we started recording.
Problem is, and other people who do if you smoke a lot of dabs, you probably have a dab right. This is no shit to dab right in any way, but at some point, the temperature is not what it says. So you have to figure out.
Become inaccurate at some point. Is there a way
there might be a way to calibrate it. We just got to do a quick Google or YouTube shirt, but we have
right.
Basically, here's the thing: the alarm goes off at 590, which is pretty.
Ooh, that's hot, baby. That's hot. Mike likes it hot, and Deb likes it hotter. Mike likes it hot, and Deb likes it hotter.
That's the warning. That's the hey, look at you need to be ready because the fucking alarm went off. So 590, this shit goes off. I try to take it down to about 560, 550. You know what I mean?
I got you. Yeah.
But
I'm a wimp, man. I don't go higher than fucking 480. I'm a low. I like more flavor too, and I don't need it that hot. I don't need to be I don't need to be comatose on the couch. I do a hot dab. I am not moving for fucking hours. Like not getting off the couch. I'll probably piss myself too because I won't get off the couch.
The more you do it, the more you can do it. You know what
I mean? I do hash on the weekends, man. I do hash on the weekends. When I don't have to work or think about anything, I hash out.
I don't always go in that hot, but here's the thing, though, too. Certain consistencies and certain textures of hash actually burn different at different temperatures. So you can go in a little hotter if it's a little bit more of a wetter kind of a dab. You understand?
Yeah, I got you.
Wetter consistency. But if it's more of a dry texture, you're gonna want to go in a little cooler because it's gonna fucking
right.
Gonna cook the fuck off, and you're gonna get a very if you look at the banger, it's not scorched up, it's not dirty, it's really really clean. This is our own personal hash.
That hasn't been clean.
That hasn't been clean. That's dirty. That's dirty.
Looks pretty clean to me.
Yeah. That's the platinum Skittles that we grew. We grew out at my buddy Firekeeper Farms on his property on. That was one whole bed. I think it's like 100-foot bed. We pulled 200 plus pounds of fresh frozen material out of that bed alone, and we have tested 2 batches so far. The first batch was about 9.8% terps. This batch just came back. We haven't even posted anything about it. I gotta get a bunch of cool shit going. But 10.9% terps.
Ooh.
Fully organic, full term, fully mature. We don't pull early. We don't pull late. We pull them right on time. Check your trikes. Keep an eye on your plants. If you actually are amongst your plants, you should be able to know when they're ready.
Yeah.
So that's my advice to people. Don't get excited. Don't think that you need to fucking, it's fucking been 56 days. I've been counting. It's time.
We've talked about this on the show before. The plant will eventually let you know
give it
when it's ready. Yeah, when it's ready, right, Earl?
Well,
we've talked about that.
Yeah.
What people are doing is when they're harvesting a little bit early, there's multiple reasons, but for hash makers, they're trying to get a much more white or clear
color
looking. It's just much more lighter, more pretty to the people, whereas the full term plants that are actually able to finish and be ripe, they're a little bit more. I don't know if dark's the right word, but like
Colorful.
amber.
It has more color to it for sure. Some of them are a little more yellowy or gold, or you know what I mean. It has more of a color to it, and I believe that's just simply because the trikes have developed and they're mature. And fuck our tests don't lie. We're way above average when it comes to terpene tests. And as a grower, what do we want? It's hash. It's going to be 70% plus THC. You're going to get high for sure. It's not a problem.
Right.
So you want to get terpenes.
Are you growing in the sun?
What was that?
Are you going outside? Are you growing in the sun? Is that what?
Yeah. Full sun.
Do you do like a bud wash or anything, or is it just fucking nice?
When you so it's all being washed, and there's no material, like it's about as pure as you can be. It's cleaned, and it gets cleaned in the process of washing. So for hash. And don't get me wrong, I know that when we do full term outdoor for flower, because this is full term outdoor. We didn't wash it. So yeah, I will see some bug dicks occasionally that I have to flick out of there. You know what I mean? Blow it off. I don't actually see the bug dicks, but you know what I mean? You can see the remnants of a fucking gnat leg or something like that, right? And this is what it is.
Listen, everybody, your vegetables that you get from across the fucking world has bugs in it. So you can't get them all off. You can do whatever you can. They're still you're eating bugs. They're good for you.
I'm not like a proponent of smoking bugs or whatever. I'm just saying that I truly believe that this is as good a smoke as you're going to get. Like I'll figure out a way for you to try it somehow through the waves. And you'll be able to try it.
It's a forever debate, right? Because the sun has like the best. Like, how are you going to beat the sun? You know,
you can't beat the sun spectrum.
We need the sun. Wait. We need the sun to live.
Yeah, dude.
Okay, 15 minutes a day for that vitamin D. Plants live on the sun. Yeah. There's only a few things plants need, but they need that good sunlight. I mean, granted, we could use fake light all the time, but the sun, there's nothing better than the sun.
You can reproduce growing. Like, you can grow things. Obviously, we've been showing that for years and years and years with food and everything else. But it's not the same as growing a potato out in your fucking yard, or growing corn or strawberries or anything you can fucking name. So you're going to tell you would rather have cucumbers grown inside of someone's fucking indoor grow in a fucking hydro setup than having some out of a fucking farm that's amazingly fucking fed soil it's designed for this. This is what the world is. The world isn't supposed to be grown in a fucking hydro setup. That's if you have to. That's like, hey, guess what? If we ever have to, we can, motherfuckers. But you don't have to if you don't have to. The world is meant for us to grow in it. Sorry, I agree. I'm turning into some sort of hippie out here, but you become one with the fucking world around you, you know. And if you really care about what you're intaking,
and when it comes to caterpillars and stuff like that,
we don't have no problems with it. People say not to spray anything. You can might be off topic
a little bit, but how are the clones going, bro? I know we dealt with a few of those a little while ago. How's everything going with that? Does the season pretty much die down until
Oh
early
yeah,
spring?
we're not really a nursery, so to speak. So we're not really putting out clones to the masses like that. You know what I mean? Like we have a nursery extension on the license, so we can put up a veg space big enough to do out big moms and start putting clones in dispensaries. You know, and we might entertain that here down the line, but we have a lot going on already. So though most of the clones that we're doing at this point or that we're going to be doing is just from our own moms for filling up our own beds and doing things that we want to do,
Yeah.
seed projects or whatever. You know what I mean? So we're not in the clone game, so to speak. We have a shit ton of mother, but I think we have upwards of 170, 180 different mother varieties, just cultivar clone
Damn.
onlys. Yeah. That's not including seed hunts that we found in our own stuff. Like we have our own keepers from our own work, and we're constantly hunting more seeds. But we, just like everybody, you know, what I mean, we're human, and the plants are plants, and here occasionally, you know, you'll end up getting issues that'll come in, and you have to fucking basically reset everything. And Earl knows because he's doing a lot of TC now, so he knows the importance of getting your plants as cleaned up as possible.
Yeah.
We're in the process of getting everything reset and back to optimum health, and it's hard to do with that many plants, and they're all different, you know. So they all have different wants and needs, but they all have a basic desire, like you were saying. They're plants. They desire light. They desire food and water and air. It's pretty common. You give them those things, and they should thrive.
Yeah.
Different amounts for different ones here and there. You know, we do a lot of stuff by hand at this point. We will automate as much as we can here pretty quick, but I do it all. We do it all by hand. You know, when I go do IPM day, it's with a hand pump sprayer by hand. I'm on my hands and knees getting under fucking plants, and I'm going for it. You know what I mean?
And that's when we had you on the show. The show was you talked about your IPM regimen with us on one of the episodes you did.
Sometimes even if you have a really good IPM regimen, if you don't continue your maintenance regimen as well, you can still have issues pop back up. And that has happened to me on multiple occasions. So be careful with what you're bringing in from other people. If you are bringing in other genetics, which you probably will be, make sure you have a good quarantine zone and protocol in place. And if you don't learn it, you know, it's doable.
It makes a huge difference.
Don't panic too much when you do get issues. If you do get issues, because if you are growing and you are trying to grow more than you probably either should or know how, then you're going to have to understand and learn the protocols of how to beat the shit that's going to come your way, whether if it's bugs or diseases or whatever it may be.
Pathogens. You can get your shit tested anymore. So if somebody's selling clones, if they don't have them tested for pathogens and everything, get them tested. $100, you can get a full panel, everything, hop Latin, everything in there, powdery mildew, botrytis, all of it.
Yeah, it's good. It's good, especially like you said, like if we were gonna actually move forward as like with a nursery and everything like that, obviously we're gonna go ahead and make sure that everything goes through the gauntlet, right? Where everything we're doing right now is for us, and I'm not saying we're not going to get everything tested. Just when you have 170, 180 plants, it's a little bit costly. So we're in the process of getting that all dialed in and worked out. But we do have methods and ways of healing the plants naturally, so to speak.
Yeah, sure.
It's definitely possible. I'm not the only person who's done it. I know other people who have done it. You can really actually clean up plants without anything crazy except for just health and making sure that you're taking the healthiest of cuts and cleaning them as you go in sterile environments and making sure that you're gloved up and that you're not wearing the same shit you wore yesterday. You know, maybe you went and visited a friend's farm. Don't go back and do the same shit you just did because you can bring contaminants. So as long as you're being thorough and you're taking the healthiest of healthy cuts, you can definitely outgrow issues. The best thing to do is talk to Earl, though, and get your stuff in TC.
Yeah, no, it's hey, dude, there's so much new stuff that comes out with the plant all the time, you know. Nothing surprises me anymore. We don't really know 100% of anything anymore. So, you know, like hop Latin's a very good example of that. When it first started becoming a problem, it was like 10% transmission rate in seed, and now what it was in 2016, 2015, it's totally different. You know what I mean? It's like we treat it differently. We know more about it. We know that it's like it can be as high as like 90% transfer rate in seeds. And it's just it's using all that knowledge together.
Oh,
That's
no,
when you can
definitely.
really, you know.
I still have more of an old school mindset for sure. I know that I have to make some educated decisions moving forward with a lot of the new science that's out and irrefutable. Like I'm not one to go against common sense and reasoning. But like I said, like I've been growing long enough, and I know that once if you do have an outdoor area where you can grow plants and you can get them into plenty of soil that's just rocking healthy, just fucking perfectly dialed in, those plants, all the newest, healthiest growth off those plants, even if they are fucked up, I guarantee you, run to test, do it if you need to. I've seen it. I've even had friends do the tests before and after. It works. You can clean your plants up with the sun and with healthy soil. Is what I'm trying to tell you.
Wow,
it's
awesome.
doable.
You know, I had a friend say
it's not going to be done on a time frame you might want if you don't have access to the sun that you need and the soil you need.
Yeah.
You know, it might be cheaper and more time efficient to just get it cleaned up in a lab. But if you don't have that and you have a lot going on and you really want to clean your shit up, it's doable. They'll be like, it's almost like having brand new plants.
Yeah. Well,
and also, have you ever heard of trying the bleach tech?
I've heard of people using bleach and trying to like being able to beat back hop Latin a little bit with it. Is that what you're talking about?
Basically, it's just doing it over and over again. Every generation you do it again, and every generation you do it again. So every time you take cuts and you do it again, and basically it literally cleans it up. And actually, it's not just bleach, but it's pool shock, from my understanding.
Oh shit! Okay,
Yeah,
that shit up.
I never tried it. I just briefly heard of the technique.
It's just it's still, I was going to say it's bro science, but it's still science because it's a fucking, what is it? It's not hypochloric. I forgot what the hell pool shock actually is.
I used to, when I lived in down south, I had a pool and I had to use pool shock. Don't ask me what it was though. They just said, you got to shock your pool once a year. I was like,
I did pool service for a while. So like, I should know what it is, but fucking, I've smoked a lot of weed since then.
Yeah.
But
here, while you guys are talking, I'll look it up.
Yeah. Thank you, dude. Just cause like, it's a real thing. You can really,
no, dude, it's crazy what the plants can do. And like I said, I believe fucking all of it anymore. I had a friend, he had PM, right? PM is systemic, powdery mildew is systemic. He said he sulfured it out. He did sulfur burns back when you could get a sulfur burner, and before they were like, these are lighting everything on fire, take them off the market.
Yeah.
And he said he did, I can't remember his regimen, but he did the, sulfur burn so often. And he said that he had plants that had powdery mildew and he sulfur burned it out after these treatments. After he did what he did, took some clones, did a couple generationings or deepening on that. And, dude, the plants are crazy. The plants are crazy. We know that.
It's people doing experiments with shit that they've heard from other people. And it's like, look if you can afford to experiment with some plants, then handle your business, dude. It's your own shit. People should be experimenting and R&Ding with their own stuff. You know what I mean? As long as
I got it.
Somebody else's stuff.
I got it. So it's chlorine or non-chlorine, but pool shock is made of chemicals like calcium hypochlorite, sodium dicolor, and potassium monosulfate. These chemicals sanitize and oxidize pools, water, remove bacteria and other contaminants.
Yeah, so it's basically just cleaning the fuck out of them.
Yeah.
On a very small level with something very powerful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I said, I've never done it myself, but I heard about it and I'm like, dude, there's options out there if you really want to fucking try.
Yeah. No, for sure. Especially with how expensive some of the, don't get me wrong, I'm a huge lab advocate, and
yeah, of course.
But with how expensive some of it is, it prices some of that. You have 170 plants.
Yeah, dude.
The general tissue culture is in the thousands to get done.
Literally, bro. We don't have $100,000 to spend on that right now.
Yeah, that's like a general tissue culture.
Investors and shit.
If you're talking about a meristem, then you're even talking way more. So it's like it's almost like it's not even a pot. Like it's such a when you talk about going through such care, people need to like understand how big it is and what a huge.
It's a daunting
It's the
task.
only option. You cannot go to another place that isn't taking care of it like you. That's not loving their plant, knowing exactly what they're doing. I mean, getting them tested and stuff is great too. But even when you can get everything tested
You
however
can
much
see
you
a
want,
plant growing and see if it's fucked up or
yeah,
not. You know what I
you
mean?
know
You can
when it's sick. You can see it.
look at the plants in the room and see which ones are banging or not. Can you do everything that you would do with a plant to make it healthy again? And if it doesn't come back to being healthy when you've done all that, then there's obviously something wrong. Get rid of that shit. People like to hold on to shit for too long. I've been one of them. You learn the hard way. You learn a lot of hard fucking lessons when you don't know how to let go of shit. Sometimes
It's hard
it's better
sometimes.
to keep your shit just small, keep your numbers the way they should, trim everything up from the bottom. You know what I mean? Like you really need to keep your shit tight, clean, sweep your floors, bleach your floors, clean your fan. Like I've been fucking guilty of, letting life take me away from doing the best job I could. And shit gets backed up sometimes and man, it's rough. But there's no excuse. If there's, get your
Get down,
checklist
baby.
together and fucking get everything back to cracking again, and the plants will bounce back. And like I said, unless you got some really fucked up shit happening, the plants will usually bounce back.
Yeah, I had said something to. We had Stoney on a couple of shows ago, last show, and I was just saying I see. And I just want your opinion. Call me crazy, call me stoned, whatever. I think the plant, not everybody. I just see some gardens and I see some buds and I see some shit out there that I just think the plant's tired. Even some people's moms that they use for clones.
My theory on that, or I don't know if it's so much my theory or what I believe on that would be, if you think of it like a person, as you age, you get these nicks and bruises, and the better you take care of yourself, or the better you clone, and the less, illness and sickness and all this you get into your plant, and the less ill watering and stuff. Keeping a plant really, really healthy. For 10 generations, you might have a plant that looks better than a plant that got way over or underwatered for 1 or 2 generations. And it just has a chance to like build all those nicks and cuts, if that makes sense. But that is one thing that tissue culture, one of the nicest things about tissue culture is the reverting, how quickly in like just like a few months you can revert one plant. Like with all the organic and everything, you can do it too. But in 1 month, you can convert one plant back to its original like seed form genetically, or however you want to call it that way. Which is just it's so crazy. It's just such a crazy thing to do.
Well, TC you can also replicate way faster, so you can make a whole lot more clones, so to speak, faster with TC, right? Than traditionally.
You can take. So there's a little misconception there. You can if you have a grown plant outside of tissue culture, every little node, the smallest spot of where a branch or a flower will be, can be a tissue culture.
Yeah.
Theoretically, though, if you had a very sterile like cube, right, like a root riot cube or whatever, very sterile, you could really clone those too if you can see it. What's crazy. That's the big thing with tissue culture. It doesn't have to fight any other like funguses or bacterias to survive because it doesn't have the capacity to do that. So you're putting it completely sterile, going in, you're giving it all the food. It doesn't have to search for it. It's all right there in the agar and gelatin. But once it's in tissue culture, things grow very slowly.
Yeah.
So if you had like, that was one of the hardest parts because we try to do some different. We have different clone stuff, and the hardest part is the timing on it because in tissue culture things grow super slow, and they really continue to grow slow until you get them out of tissue culture and acclimated.
Yeah,
and they boom.
Then they go.
But it's like what we do in the lab is we do rotations. So we try to bring all of our plants out twice a year. We bring them out, we grow them, we take a bunch of cuts off of them and we put them back into tissue culture. We grow those out, and then we do, if somebody wants one here or there, whatever happens with them. We subculture them and throw it away. We subculture them and reculture them. Whatever we do, I think we had like 75 or 80 strains in the tissue culture library last time. I did like a physical count. I think we have a few more now. But that's the hardest time, is that timing, because some of these plants are finicky as fuck. Some of these plants suck so bad. And, or they want exactly this media, or we make 2 different recipes at the lab, like 2 different distinct recipes, and kind of like mix them up and test this and that all the time. But they want, like, one will not even fucking grow a little bit in one. It'll start like curling and getting all in vitrified and all this shit. And the other media, it'll just take off in. And the only difference is the base of the food. Everything else is exactly like, it's just like, God damn it. But for the most part, everything we have in there is pretty stable. Dude, I'm just rambling on about tissue culture at this point, but it's just such a fun fucking thing. It's so nice, like we talked about before, when you can put things together. That's my favorite thing ever, because you brought up bro science, and I don't even know bro science, like you said, is a science. And I have learned more. I was real lucky when I first started growing for my career. I went to a shop, and everybody in there was smart as fuck. They'd been growing forever. From like using, dude, we had this dude that came in. He used to grow an old carpet. He used to be like install and take carpet out and shit. I'm not saying to do it. I'm just saying it's like these motherfuckers found a way. Oh, yeah. And there's a certain knowledge that comes from that kind of fucking shit. And there's so much stuff that I learned from them that like science doesn't explain yet. And I'm sure it will one day, but there's so many of these little tricks that I learned, and science doesn't fucking explain it yet. So I just do it because I see the change in the plant. Yeah. I see the plant, how the plant reacts to it, I don't know why it does it, but I know it does it because somebody told me to try it, and I saw it in the plant myself.
Yeah, like visible results will make you want to keep doing it.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude.
But, where are we at, Earl? You went on a great fucking run there for a second, brother.
Rant.
It was great.
So, clones, if somebody wants a cut, bro, because, dude, you guys should see this guy's library. Like he said, 170 plants. The library is thick. Very cool, like Durban poison, like you just talked about. Very cool list. If somebody needed a cut, could they holler at you, or is that just like follow me until I say I got a cut?
I still occasionally, like, if the timing's right of it, I'm not saying no. Like, what do they say? Yeah. Everything's for sale at some level, right?
Yeah,
it's true.
That's the code we live by, baby.
That's it.
A closed mouth don't get fed. So if someone's interested in something, they can reach out. You know what I mean? The worst case tell you is no. You know what I mean? We're like I said, we're in the process of resetting a lot of the moms, because like it's a lot easier to take care of a lot of small plants until you have the area to put them and make them big plants. So if you have 175. Let's just use that number. If you have 175 plants that are in 10-gallon pots, you need a lot of fucking space, because those are going to be some pretty big plants. If you have 175 in fucking solo cups to 1-gallon size plants, you just have to water a whole lot more, and they're a lot smaller plants that you can manicure. And so basically what I'm trying to tell you is, if you want to take care of a lot of stuff, try to keep it small unless you have a big area. And if you have a big area, then you got to feed them more. You got to be more on your shit. You better have a really good regimen.
Buy more soil.
No matter what. But just basically, my advice to people, if you want to try to end up keeping more genetics around, have a good quarantine to make sure that what you have coming in is going to stay healthy and be healthy from the gate. And then keep shit small. Unless you have a plan for something you want to do, then make that one mom big. I want to fucking make this plant, whatever. Pick a fucking strain name these days. You know what I mean? I'm going to make that plant be a big mom, so that way I can get a bunch of cuts off her. Once the cuts get rooted, cut that bitch out or flower her. I usually don't recommend people flowering out old, tired moms, because I used to think it was the tight thing to do. But they don't throw down the flavor and quality they could. They might put down some flower, like some yield. You might get a nice yield.
Yeah, they bang out yield.
But they're not happy. They've been root bound for a long time. You don't want to see a plant that's in a 10 or 20 gallon pot that's just fucking massively rooted up. That's not the goal. Not in organics. I mean, maybe if you're growing in a fucking rock wool cube, that's what you want. I don't know. But in organics, you want them constantly fucking looking for more, going further, not just tightening up in their root zone. You want them to be able to expand, plain and simple. That's why usually we grow in beds. The fucking plants go ham. Fucking, you know what I mean? So you can keep a plant stifled for a while, but once you give it some room to go, it's gonna go. If you're feeding it right, if it's got enough at its disposal. The thing that I love about organics is it's like a buffet. You're feeding the soil a buffet, and the plant takes what it needs when it needs it. You don't really overdo it, so to speak. Obviously you can't overdo it, but if you stay right around or below or up, or there's a little window, but basically keep it where you want it. And the plants, all you got to do is a couple fucking dry amendments here and there and a couple teas, and they rage. That's it.
They like their tea.
They love their tea.
Those old moms like their tea for sure.
Knowing how to use and manipulate the biology in your soil for your organics is a fucking game changer.
That helps for sure. Always learning.
It's huge. It's huge. And they have a lot of cool products too. You can go super. The coolest part is you can go super fucking simple. Throw some top feed, especially when you're outside. It's got everything you'd ever fucking want and love. Top feed a little bit, maybe some compost. But they have some products now. You have to pay for them. It's not going to be as cheap and as easy as outside. But they have products now that are so good and like stabilized and specific. In IPM and in feeding and in teas and in there's so much fun shit to learn and to use in the soils, especially now with organics. And I want to attribute that mostly. I don't even want to attribute that. I don't even know what that means. But I think that's mostly because of weed. And maybe that's just because that's where that's my sector I learned my shit in. But I learned. Before I started reading and listening to these people who were mainly researching cannabis, because there was money in fucking cannabis. There's money in it. So there's people who are researching and doing different stuff that they're not. I know there's money in a lot of crops, but per square foot, per ounce, however you want to put it, the money's in cannabis, And before these scientists.
Ooh, that's pretty.
Yeah. Before these scientists, though, before these people that are like strictly doing it for cannabis, I didn't hear a lot about like using the different funguses and the different bacteria in the soils. I didn't hear a lot about like water culturing different teas and like doing different shit. It was only in cannabis that I was hearing a lot of that.
Making your own ferments. You can make a bunch of that
for sure.
Just out of your plants that are growing.
Like Korean natural farming.
Plants. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, like all that shit. It's like, yeah, it's been around, but as far as it being in American agriculture, I never heard of it. I had never seen it. And so, for me, weed really did a lot for a lot of that different stuff. No,
for sure. I never. Weed. I've grown more vegetables and food in my life since I started growing weed, like full time, than I ever had before. Like weed will turn you into like a life grower. You know what I mean? Like,
plant lover.
You just want to grow life around you. Like it's pretty funny. Like I said, we're about to be building some chicken coops. We're about to be getting chickens because the price of eggs is just stupid. Might as well just get chickens.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Hell yeah!
Yeah.
My mom got some chickens.
If you're in an apartment, you probably can't put them in your apartment. But
as long as your township lets you have them. My township doesn't let you have them.
Damn it!
Terrible. They should let you have them now. Everybody should be able to have some fucking chickens, at least two, so you can get fucking dozen eggs fucking here and there, Price of eggs are fucking $22.99. What the fuck's going on right now?
Really?
It's like, I think I've seen them as high as like $12.99, but I think there's people hoarding them and shit. There's people hoarding eggs now. Them motherfuckers going to Costco buying fucking 22 pallets of fucking stealing. There's people robbing eggs. There's people robbing eggs right now at a restaurant, like going to the back door because they can't get eggs for their restaurant. They're fucking breaking in fucking fucking Eggs Best Restaurant, Waffle Houses and shit, and fucking robbing eggs and taking them down the street to their restaurant because they can't get motherfucking eggs right now. We all could be making money on weed and fucking eggs if the government would let us fucking be able to grow both. We'd be fucking flying high right now, and literally, but fucking eggs and fucking weed. Commodity, man. It's a commodity item. We'd be fucking all be free. I don't even want to get started. Anyway, how's the seed business going?
Man, making amazing new crosses all the time. Like
hell yeah.
The amount of potential and possibilities is basically endless at this point. With all the different genetics at my disposal, the sky.
What was that one run you did? It was that dude's name, Josh D. How did that run go?
That was all. So that was. I mean, it's been probably some of the best shit we've ever done for sure. That line was made under my buddy Firekeeper Farms' brand. I was there to be the janitor and make sure everything went down smoothly. You know what I mean? But the same guy it's the same buddy of mine that owns the licenses and has the farms out here, and we're doing some pretty tight shit for sure. That line was made 2.5 years ago now, and a lot of people have ran those crosses, including us, and just stellar plants of being. What was
your favorite one you did out of that Josh D line?
Smoking that shit right now. It's called Imperial Sour.
See
the nug I just showed you.
Yeah, I said it was pretty. I like to put that under my microscope. I got a new toy. I was sending pictures to Big Earl. I got one of those little TV screen microscopes so I can put my buds. Oh man, Earl, remember I was sending you those pictures?
Yeah.
Love it. I love to see that. Take that underneath the fucking microscope. So go ahead. I interrupted. Sorry.
No, you're good. This is East Coast Sour D, the Chacos cut crossed to Josh DOG. So it's basically a Sour OG remake, a newer version, our version. And this is just a pheno from last year's hunt. We got to hunt deeper. Like just finding this, like don't get me wrong, it's really really good. I love it. I just know that there's more insanity to be found in these and within the other lines. Like Josh D, the guy himself, ran our gear. We sent him some stuff to run. He found keepers in almost everything he ran. So like the 09 Animal Cookies crossed to Josh DOG, amazing plants. The other Sour Diesel, the Skunk Tech cut crossed to Josh D. That one got named Spinal Tap. He found a badass.
Great movie, by the way.
Those who know, definitely a classic. So we got that. Like I said, the Imperial Sour. That's one of the best ones that we've found so far. But just tons of stuff. I mean, we ran one called Bulgogi last year, which is Meat Breath by Josh D. Just savory, amazing plants that get you fucking really high.
That's good.
Peanut Oil, which is Peanut Butter Breath by Josh DOG.
That's one of my. I'm very, very a strain that Big Earl made me a lover, and some other people who I've given that strain. Your Peanut Butter Breath Earl has always been a fan favorite here. So in this house,
can't go wrong with a good peanut butter breath. If it's a solid, I mean, the selection that we used in our stuff came from Archive Nursery up in Portland, Oregon, and they're pretty well known. Fletcher, the guy who basically made that brand and that company, he's a fucking like genetic guru. So hats off to him for what he's done for the community and for the plant. Bow and fucking all kinds of shit he's made, like
all the preservation,
Like they hold so many different shows. They hold more than we do for sure, and they've held it for a lot longer. And their plants are
that's won a lot of stuff.
But he'll also preach to you Synganics. He preaches Synganics through and through. He says that
100%.
He feels that having the best of both worlds is a benefit to the plant. You know what I mean? And those, like I said, the plants are happy. I'm not gonna, I have nothing to say against it, so to speak.
Everybody used to think salt's killed biology, and they don't. It's only when you get the heavy salt buildup. So if you can monitor your salt buildup in your soil,
humates
you need runoff.
It's easy.
What's that?
humates and enzymes will naturally break down any salt buildup, and it helps with fucking shuttling and cycling. So you won't get that buildup. You'll end up.
There's ways
You won't
around it.
get up
Yeah,
with nutrient lockouts. But
so
yeah, no, it's definitely doable. Like if you're in a production setting and you don't have the wherewithal or the desire to grow fully organic in soil, and you can still turn out some really amazing flowers for sure. I just prefer, after basically growing in both directions most of my, I've grown heavy, so I've grown with canna and cocoa. I've done that's arguably the best fucking way. It's just really expensive to get the fucking canna cocoa and the canna nutrient line. You're spending fucking too much money when there's other. Go get Jack's. What is it? The Jack's 321 or 123? I forget what it is.
Yeah, that's what I run. Jack's is the cheapest, most versatile base out there.
Yeah. And you're growing chronic, bro. What really matters is if you're growing in salts, you really do have to have that flush period where you're cutting off the feeding, but you're still running calcium and you're still making sure that nutrient cycling is happening, because you're not going to get anything flushed out of your plants by just cutting everything off and running water. You still have to run calcium, and they still have to be running with microbes. They still need biology to happen. It has to happen. Even in a salt,
you still need to feed food up until very late. You still need a little bit of something in there until you don't want to run a whole week of RO
in
water.
Your plant that's gonna need to be fucking it. You've heard of, you know what it is when a plant is metabolizing itself. When that's when you see the leaves fading. That's when you see that beautiful fall look. It's because it's senescing. It's literally feeding on all of the rest of itself, because you've cut off all the plant's nutrients it was getting via the fucking root system. It's not getting anything via the leaves, no foliar. It's not getting anything via the fucking root. So what is it getting now? Whatever's already in it. That's flushing. That's what you're doing. And if you don't flush in organic soil. The plant just does that naturally. It says, hey, guess what? I'm done with all that now. Even though it's still there. I'm done with it because I understand. Because the plant's one with fucking the world. That's the
history. In a pot scenario, it happens too when you get that shit dialed in. When you're in not outside, in a ground or something that can connect to the earth, When you get that dialed in, it's almost like a long flush. It's almost like you're okay, I do my last top dress week 6 or whatever it is, week 5, and then you just feed water and some microbes.
few extra teas, some calcium.
Yeah.
But yeah. No amendments and shit after a certain period for sure.
Have you had your eye on anything outside your line? Have you been looking at anybody else's work, or any other crosses been catching your eye lately?
Man, there's always stuff that seems like, oh, this seems like it might be pretty fire, you know what I mean? But there's so much of the same shit going around that it's I'm not really excited much about a lot of people's work, to be honest. And I'm not trying to sound like a hater or nothing like that. We just have a lot of cool shit going on that's pretty unique and that people just don't have, really. So don't get me wrong, a lot of the clone onlys, a lot of people, if I have access to them, you probably have access to them. I'm not like some fucking untouchable fucking genetics guru. I'm in the same community as you. The only thing that can separate us is what seeds we have and what we're popping to remain different.
100%.
And don't get me wrong, my buddy that I work with, my friend, he has invested a lot in some genetics that are verified, and they're not just out there. They're not the people who did give them to my buddy or sell them to him. They're not just available to everybody. Even if you do have the money, they're just not available. Doesn't matter. There's a code of honor with a lot of this shit. And you don't get to that level unless you fucking paid the prices. And some of the times it's with money and some of it's with fucking respect. So luckily, my buddy that like I said, Firekeeper Farms is the man. And I appreciate everything that I've been able to accomplish in the past few years. We're in a little house now. We have the ability to cultivate on the land here to where we're going to grow a lot of food this year.
Oh yeah.
the sky's the limit, literally, for a breeding project. So you're talking about breeding projects and what I'm excited for. I'm more excited for what we have coming. There's some fem work coming up that I'm not going to divulge at this point because I don't want. Don't get me wrong. It's not like I said, it's not anything that anybody else couldn't do if they were able to facilitate getting the things, to make it happen. But I'm just going to go ahead and keep it on the hush until the shit's already made. Sometimes you get excited about something, you talk about it, you talk it up, and then a fucking failure happens, and then the whole fucking.
Have you reversed a plant?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I've only done it a couple times, but I have faith that I've done enough research and I know exactly how to do it. I can make my own fucking solution if I need to at this point, but it's more about.
You use the STS or you like the colloidal silver?
I've preferred the STS personally. I just think it works better. I also want to learn I want to learn the injections because actually putting it in a fucking needle and injecting it into each stem that you want to have because there's a main stock.
Talk about that.
Yeah,
there's a main stock, and then you have your lateral branches. This branch ain't connected to the whole system, so to speak. This branch is its own branch. So you fucking inject this branch, that rest of that branch beyond that injection site is going to now have hormones in it that's going to fucking make it think, oh, hey, it's time to become a dude. Okay? I'm doing this thing now.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to be disrespectful and say some funny shit that I would say, but you get the idea.
Oh, I get the idea.
Changing and becoming a man.
Yeah, I get it. It's growing balls. I get it.
Ball, sure. Basically, what you're trying to facilitate is being able to maybe you just do the top half of the plant so that top will be able to pollinate the rest of that bottom. Then you can make S1s off the same plant, or you can get say you have a certain genetic type that you want, and you have 3 clones of it. You grow them out. Now you reverse all 3 of them. Or maybe you have 4 because you need one to catch pollen as well. If you make them all release pollen, then they can't catch pollen because they're dumping pollen. You understand? So no more stigmas. They've all become fucking balls. So you need stigmas to catch the pollen. So you theoretically either leave the bottoms to mature or just reverse whole plants and make sure you have another plant that's just all lady for that. To make S1s is what I'm saying. But in order just to make femmes, you just have a few of your other plants or whatever that you are really interested in for whatever reason. Maybe you're looking to make some badass washers that other people don't have because the market's fucking saturated with the same shit everywhere because everybody wants to grow the same shit because it's hot. Just grow what makes you fucking happy. That's dank as fuck. That that you wouldn't want to fucking miss a day of smoking. That will go hard for everybody. Guaranteed. Unless you're smoking bootsy bullshit, guaranteed. If you just focus on some shit you like that you love, it'll sell. It'll be just fine.
I think the hardest part for a lot of people, especially if you're not growing it yourself, is finding what you really love. Because a lot of people, especially with some of these prices, they don't want to go out and get 20 strains and be like, okay, how am I going to like this? They have 3 or 4 strains. Say I like this one the most. I'm going to stick with some of this shit. And some people aren't like that too. But I've always told, anytime I talk with anybody new, especially if it's something medicinal, if they're like, I'm using it for this, it's okay. I'm going to bring you a little bit of every flavor I have.
Yeah.
Tell me what works best. Tell me why it works best. And we're going to narrow this down a little bit to a flavor, a strain, even if it's something stupid like indica sativa. We're going to narrow it down a little bit for you so you can get something that is beautiful to you for whatever reasons.
That was beautiful, Big Earl.
That's part about growing the plant.
Don't have a lot of access. Like you're saying.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Hey, how's Slept On Seed Bank been coming along?
To be 1,000% honest with you, it's been pretty stale. It's been pretty stagnant. We have not been able to. Anything's possible with the right fucking planning and procedure and organization, but we have not been able to make it happen very well. So it's just kind of setting
Balancing
there.
the baby
You know what I
and
mean?
everything is
Like,
Let me tell you
it's still
something.
there. It's still there. I'm still paying the yearly fees and all that good shit.
When you were running hot with that, I mean, people need to support Straight A and slept on Seed Bank, because you got a good lineup in that bank, right?
Yeah, no, there's definitely some cool shit that a lot of people don't have, or stuff
Right.
that's a little bit older work now, because we haven't really had a lot of new drops from our breeders and everything like that. It's just a lot of their original drops, and it's still just there, ready to fucking rock. And
well, I'll give you a little positivity here. I read on multiple shows about the seed, the futures of what's gonna hold on to your seeds, because they're saying, between globally, but it's going to be like a $5 to $5.5 billion market here by 2030.
Oh yeah,
and the ones that have been doing what you've been doing the last 10, 15 years, breeding project after breeding project, success, failure, mediocre, sales, meaning it's all going to come now where people are going to be like, home grow is going to get bigger and bigger. People are going to realize that you can get better weed at home, just like growing better vegetables at home.
I wish
and
people
it's
could
cheap.
try the weed that I'm smoking all the time. I'm so fucking high, and I feel really, really good. It's good. It's feeling good weed, and I
well, Mike, let me say something. We've been doing this show. We talked for like 15 minutes before we started recording. 20 minutes before we started recording, you were ripping dabs, fucking. You were ripping some nice hash, fucking. And then we come into the show. We're 56 minutes in so far, and you've ripped about 16 fucking bong rips and four hot dabs, and talked better than most people I talk to outside of real life that aren't stoned.
Yeah, no, like I love weed. Thank you, I appreciate it. I love weed. Like really, this is what I do. I live and work and breathe weed, and I've become extremely passionate about genetics and about the makings of them and the origins and the potential, the possibility. Like instead of bottlenecking everything and making everything. You can have that, but that if we're all doing that, then we don't have this, and we all need to be focused on this so we can have that. You understand? Like, if we're all doing the same shit and we're all making jealousies and sherbs and fucking, you know what I mean? All these different, and I like a lot of that shit. I'm not talking shit. I'm just saying that if everybody's doing the same shit, it's going to be just a fucking muddled up bullshit of the same. And everybody's like, whoa,
variety is the key, baby. Variety is the key. Mike, you used to play sport. You used to play sports. You used to work out, right? You used to have to lift, right? Well, I'm saying, you feel me? You get stale. You can't do the same thing over and over and over again. It's like the fucking muscle confusion,
right?
Yeah, you got to keep up. Like we talked about this on the show the other day. I was telling my wife, I said we kind of blessed a little bit because we know a lot of growers and a lot of good peeps in the industry. I've never grown the same strain yet because I've been blessed to have friends in the industry, and I have such a variety of weed. You don't even fucking understand. I mean, I have 5 really good growers who I appreciate here between Illinois and Michigan.
Yeah. And
their spice of life that I get to enjoy. Like if you come to my studio, you go to my closet, ask Earl, I got like 30 different strains that what do you want to smoke tonight? Okay, we got our nighttime, midday. What do you want to smoke tonight? Oh, I want to smoke the fucking Oreos by Big Earl, or I want to smoke the Slurricane by my friend Igneous, or I want to smoke fucking my boys from Midwest Terps, or fucking Ralph Wiley, and God rest his soul, 3 Trees, who just passed away. Rest your soul, Gabriel. But you spice of life, man. You got to understand. You get stale. Your body gets used to those same strains. It doesn't do the same things you need. You got to like mix it up, man. Go from highs to lows. There's
a scientific reason for that. Literally, you have an endocannabinoid system, and you keep giving it the same cannabinoids day in and day out. You're hitting the same receptors day in and day out, and that's
right.
Cool. It's just you're not going to get very much out of it outside of that. You have a shit ton more receptors that can be receiving all these other ones. So
even for smoke.
Well, Earl grew that. Earl grew that Seattle Chronic. and our friend Seattle Seed Chronics, his lineage and his strains, he's been really dialing this to get higher different cannabinoids. We had a conversation because when I first met Big Earl, I said one day someone's going to be a very rich person, and if they understand what I'm going to say here, I'm going to say it to you because I've said it to a lot of people. Someone can get strains with not only just THC in it, because I do love THC, but I want a blend. I want 10% THC, 5% CBD, 6% CBG, the mother of all cannabinoids. I want a little bit of CBC in there. I want some CBN in there. I want all of them.
You want the buffet.
Yeah, because that's what it's all about. We've bred so much out of that plant to where you breeders can eventually get to that point. And then what scientifically we talked about, we talked a lot about science today. Scientifically, we can actually grow a strain for that person.
There's the Seattle. He's been doing a really good job of adding, like you said, the CBG, the THCV, the CB fucking everything, mixing them all to where you get the different ratios. Obviously, with the goal hopefully being the 1 to 1 to 1 to 1. You know what I mean?
Of course, and then your different terpene ratios. You want some myrcene, you want some terpene.
You get as much diversity in your plant as you can.
Yeah.
You get the ultimate.
His last line.
But what was that?
His last line had like 6 triple or quadruple 1-to-1s. 1 to 1 to 1 and 1 to 1 to 1 to 1.
I watch a lot of what's going on, and I really respect. I respect the people like him that are. And don't get me wrong, I don't not respect a lot of people. There's some people that I kind of don't respect, to be honest. But I'm not going to say
it's okay. We get it.
Just because I see what they're doing, and I'm not impressed. I'm really fucking growing plants day in, day out, a ton of different plants, and I'm growing it on a bigger fucking scale than. No, I'm not. I'm just maybe an acre or two, but that's a fucking lot of plants. You know what I'm saying? And also
one person isn't monitoring that much.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, I'm seeing people that I've never seen grow a plant before, fucking having drops all the time and stuff like that. It's like, fucking, that's cool. You're probably white labeling your shit, but
they buy clones. That's why we got all the bottleneck of the genetics, or a lot of it. A lot of people buying the same clones, reversing one of them.
Sorry for my hating moment.
That's okay.
Wait,
hold on. This is
work this shit and have passion for the plant and the community, and not just making a few bucks by crossing some popular shit together.
Yeah,
that anybody could fucking do.
This is Burpin the Bag, so don't forget Burpin the Bag and Burpin the Bag is your second time burping. It's your show. You can talk however the fuck you want. That's why I sit here and get stoned. So enjoy it.
Doing it the right way. Cheers to people that are really working the fucking plants and putting in fucking hours and hours and hours every single day growing weed. Literally, because it's not just roses and fucking buds all the time. You know what I'm saying? You actually have to work. I don't know if anybody actually digs holes and fucking repairs fences and does anything like outside of actually just growing weed. But growing weed is more than growing weed if you're growing weed. Typically,
Mike's growing weed.
Line.
Cheers to the motherfuckers that are doing it.
Yeah,
Mike over here is growing weed. Deb knows, right, Deb?
Trust me, she knows. I'll be here tonight.
I'm just gonna say, our baby is 13 months old. He's had maybe 3, 4 full days off her entire life.
I don't take days off. Farmers don't have days off.
Yeah. But don't miss the special times of the life though. They grow up really quick.
My baby girl gets to see me every single day still.
That's it. They grow up really quick though. I'm 52. I got a 30-year-old and a fucking 28-year-old.
It's crazy because I understand. You don't seem like you would have a 30 and 28-year-old. You know what I mean? It's just
I still act like I'm fucking 21. That's the problem.
Like that. Good. That's how you stay young. And that's how you feel young. If you start acting like you're fucking 60, you're gonna start feeling like you're fucking 60.
I never get old. I just get seasoned. Well seasoned.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? I don't get this old's not in his head. I just get seasoned. Just well seasoned. That's it. You can fucking fry a steak on his head with some seasoning on it, be all good. Earl,
Mike,
what else you got?
Was slept on seed bank too, bro. Everybody I've talked to too, or also seeds are just a hard game right now, especially non-feminized, bro.
No, for sure, and I've heard that a lot. I'm such a traditionalist with breeding that I just wish people would have a little bit more confidence in popping regular seeds because
I love regs. I fucking love them.
There's love them. It's just a lot funner of an experience for me. It's like, don't get me wrong, femmes are cool, and like I said, we're going to be making some femmes, and I think femmes that are done well with really good fucking intention and done, with healthy, happy plants. Like I don't know. I think that they're still going to be fine. Like you just get a lot less genetic diversity. Now you don't really get to. Don't like I said, I'm not trying to sound like I fucking know it all. I don't know it all, but the whole fun part about popping these seeds is that you're not going to just see one. It's not going to be all the same plant. You want to grow all the same plant, then go get the fucking clone, make fucking whole bunch of copies of it, and run fucking clone.
You don't want genetic stability. Yeah,
exactly. But don't get me wrong. Like, there's applications. You want all like a true F1 plant from P1 stock. You should see a lot of super stability across the line.
Yeah,
that's what it should be. You shouldn't see any variation until the F2 level when that opens up the gene pool. That's a whole nother discussion. I'm just saying. I don't even know what the fuck I'm saying anymore. I'm high. No, damn it.
Damn. Only took you an hour. Only took you an hour and 20 minutes to get high, Mike. Damn, dude. I'm impressed. Hey, listen, Earl's got to ask you a serious question though. If you had $100, Earl, what would you pick from his garden, or what do you suggest?
Mike, what do you suggest if you had somebody had $100? They got on slept on. Where are they going? Where should they go?
Honestly, you should just hit me up directly because I need to get slept on. I need to get everything dialed in. I need to make sure that everything is dialed in enough and everything is. I don't have a lot of good.
Gotta do inventory and shit.
Not just inventory. I know the inventory is pretty much fucking there. I don't have enough information on shit. I don't have enough pictures. I don't have enough descriptions. I don't have an easy way at checkout for you just to go, hey, fuck, I have a credit card. Cool. You have to hit me up for an email, and I email you back. Don't get me wrong, it's doable, but it needs to be taken care of. It needs to be done better on a professional level.
Okay, so where can we find you then? Where can we get a hold of you to get these awesome seed packs?
You can find me on IG at Straight A Genetics. That's just all together, no GH, STRAITA GENETICS. Straight A Genetics. You can DM me. I'm pretty responsive, as they say online. You can also email me at sleptonseedbank@gmail.com. I do reply to the emails, and you can go to Slept On Seed Bank. We still have a lot of stuff on the site that's still accurate, still doable. Like I said, when it comes to checkout,
and then they can email you or DM you, and then go to the website, see the menu, and then just do it that way. Gotcha.
There's more available that is not actually even on the site. Is kind of what I was going to say. Kind of hit me up for the secret menu.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff.
The secret menu.
The site.
I love it. In
a roundabout way, you can reach out to me directly, and I will have lists of availability, and there is more than what you can see online.
Can I say something?
Perfect. Go ahead, Deb. Go ahead.
The whole thing about Mike, and I think that's why he's saying to reach out to him, is he fucking knows his lineage when it comes to all of the different packs and everything like that.
Wife knows.
And so if you're looking for a specific plant and it doesn't say that it is on the menu or whatever, he can tell you if it's in the lineage of one of those packs. Or if you're looking for specific effects, he could tell you what plant you might want, tailored to one specific want.
Now that's a good fucking breeder and grower right there.
That's right.
That's great. Deb, what a wonderful wife to have her man's back. I love it. There's nothing more powerful than a power couple. I love it.
Don't do all that shit.
I know. Right. Keep her high, keep them happy, right? I mean, I tell you what, Mrs. Weedman, as soon as she hits that joint, man, I watch the frown turn fucking back around. You know what I'm saying? It's just fucking perfect.
We're back in business.
Oh man, it's never been better. Just the happiness, the joy after she smokes a J. It's fucking tremendous. I love it. You know,
Game changers with this.
wonderful. It's medicine every day.
That's about.
Yep.
But yeah,
Earl,
I'm sorry to go back though. If you did have 100 to spend, I would make sure you get well more than your money's worth, and it would be guaranteed fire. Guaranteed.
Always.
I love it.
Always.
Earl, how do we fucking get guaranteed fire? What is the fucking one ingredient that we forgot to mention through this whole great fucking show to get that fire? What is the fucking thing we forgot to talk about?
Oh, you go to sleptonseedbank.com. You look at the menu. You get a hold of Mike through the sleptonseedbank at gmail.com. You let him know what you're looking for. He gives you some ideas. You get your seeds, and you just crank the CalMag, baby.
Just from the gate.
CalMag at 100. Fucking boom.
Everybody out there in the world, we love you. Don't forget the CalMag. Peace. Check out our cannabis lifestyle brand online at 8decades.com. Our custom smokes and accessories are perfect for your coffee table, bedroom nightstand, or kitchen counter. They're designed for you to show them off. The Canna community is also loving our hemp and cotton blend t-shirts, sweatshirts, scarves, and hats, finished off with our 8 Decades logo. We've got some awesome long-lasting goods that will be your favorite for years to come. 8 Decades, because a 9th decade of cannabis prohibition isn't acceptable.